What's good, LDBC? It's your boy Ropes. So Jim Lampley the other day comes out of his mouth and says that he doesn't believe that Floyd Mayweather is going to retire, that he'll probably come back and fight a woman. And I just want to say, when it comes to domestic violence, Jim, you want to shut the fuck up, man. You want to hide your face. You want to leave the room whenever domestic violence comes up. Like, you want to stay as quiet as a church mouse because it's very, very easy to do a quick internet search and find your police report from your drunken domestic violence situation, okay? You got some fucking nerve coming out of your mouth saying Floyd Mayweather will probably come back and fight a woman next, even though the man has beat 48 different men in the ring. He had two rematches, okay, his entire career. But he beat 48 different men in the ring, and you're talking like he needs to fight a woman to win a fight. I never understood that. You know, this domestic violence shit with Floyd is really, really annoying to still hear about this shit. The shit is old. It happened a long time ago. Floyd Mayweather served his time already for this. But yeah, this is how people want Floyd Mayweather remembered, as a woman beater. But what about Jim Lampley? You know, when he retires one day and they talk about his career, do you think that they'll ever bring up his domestic violence situation? Absolutely not. They want Floyd to be remembered as a woman beater, and that's why they keep bringing this shit up, because there was no man that they even picked to beat Floyd Mayweather that actually beat him. He beat the shit out of all of them. They're upset about it. So they want to put this idea out here that Floyd needs to fight a woman to win a fight. And it's ridiculous, man. Nobody knows what happens in that fucking house that day, man. Nobody knows. He says that he restrained a woman that jumped off on him, and I think that it's a possibility. I don't know if it's true or not, but I know that I've seen shit like that happen before. That's one thing that I do know. So it's not anything that I'm ruling out. But I don't even think about it anymore because it's old. He did his time for that. I don't remember hearing anything about Jim Lampley serving any time for beating up on a woman. Never even heard about it until, what, a few years back, Carcino had did a video and he released the police report and all that type of stuff. Didn't even know about it before that. You know what I'm saying? I've been knowing about it for a few years now. But you would think somebody with that in their past would just shy away from talking about domestic violence at all. But not Jim. Because Jim, he thinks as a white man, his mistakes need to be forgiven. But Floyd Mayweather, as a black man, you know, his mistakes have to be held over him forever. You know what I mean? And it's not just Floyd Mayweather. I mean, we see this all through Hollywood, a lot of things. You know, when a black person makes a mistake, it's the highlight of their damn career. No matter how much they change, no matter how much they grow, it just keeps getting brought up over and over again. You know, our mistakes are unforgivable. And that's what it seems like with this Floyd Mayweather situation. Okay? And people are talking like he brutally just beat this woman. He picked up a hammer and he just wailed away on this woman. Stomped her the fuck out and left her a bloody mess, even though there's not a single goddamn picture of anything. Now that's where I'm skeptical on it. Okay, because when you have a star like that and he beat up a woman, those pictures would have been everywhere. Just like Floyd Mayweather says, man, it's a good point that he brings up. You know what I mean? Never any footage of anything. You know, so I don't know what really happened, but even if he did do it, he served his fucking time. Somebody told me, oh, I feel sorry for his kids. Really? For being millionaires? For having their life set without having to work a single fucking day in their life? Up until this point? For getting bought a guaranteed car at 16 years old? That's what you feel sorry for? Oh, well, they could be psychologically damaged from what Floyd did to their mother. Really? I mean, who hasn't seen their parents argue? I mean, there would be some weak ass kids if they were psychologically damaged over that shit. Okay, but they got plenty of millions to get that shit treated. I'll tell you that much. But who hasn't seen their parents yell, argue, fight, wrestle? Who hasn't seen that shit, man? This is more common than what people make it sound like. They make it sound like this is like a Floyd Mayweather issue or some shit. You know what I mean? This shit happened a long time ago, but you guys are determined to make that Floyd Mayweather's memory as a woman beater instead of a guy who went in there and beat 48 different men in the ring. Had some close fights, came back, won the rematches convincingly. But you talk like he needs to fight a woman to win a fucking fight. That he needs to cherry pick, even though he fought most of the guys that you said that he wasn't going to fight. Not all of them. You know, you got guys like Keith Thurman, Sean Porter, those fights that we wanted to see. You know, like Errol Spence, There's plenty of guys that Floyd Mayweather didn't fight that would have been good fights, in my opinion. Okay? But to say that he cherry picked every single fucking opponent is just a lie, man. That is not reality. Okay? He fought Oscar De La Hoya. He fought Shane Mosley. He fought Canelo Alvarez. He fought Manny Pacquiao. These were all fights that people said that he wouldn't fight. And he fought those guys and he beat those guys. Those guys are not women. Well, Oscar, the fishnets, you know what I mean? But he's still a man, though, somewhat. Okay? But you get what I'm saying. So why do we have to keep talking about domestic violence when it comes to Floyd Mayweather? Okay? When Robert Downey Jr., when he has a movie coming out, I don't see anybody talking about his alcoholism, his drug past, or anything like that, because that shit is all forgotten, man. He's Iron Man now. That's Tony Stark. We love him to death now, right? But why is it that every time Floyd Mayweather had a fight coming up, they brought up domestic violence every fucking time, man? The shit is old, man. He gave you the same answer every time. That he restrained a woman, and that things happen, people make mistakes in their past and people learn from their mistakes. Those were his responses every time. Okay? But you guys are determined to make that his memory because you're so upset that he beat everybody that you thought was going to beat him. And I think that that's what it is at the end of the day. If Jim Lampley's upset because he's not making any money off of Floyd Mayweather over there, being over there on that network anymore, which I don't know how much money he personally made off of Floyd being there, but he's acting like that. You know what I mean? But Floyd would have never left if you guys had just showed him the respect that he deserved while he was there. Yeah, you can call him out for not fighting this guy and that guy, but give him credit for the guys that he did fight, at least. Instead of, you guys jumped on him every single time. Larry Merchant, after every fight, he tried to get in there and annoy Floyd the best way that he could. Always tried to be negative every time. And Floyd got tired of it and said, you know what, man, fuck this. Showtime, their commentators are fair. They're giving me a good deal. Fuck HBO. I remember at one point Floyd Mayweather said he would never leave HBO, that was his home. But after that last Larry Merchant incident, he was probably like, you know what, fuck HBO. Because they're biased and they have racial agendas. They really do. If you see through all their bullshit, you can see things for what it really is over there at HBO. And that's why they're going under, man. So that's just my thoughts on that, man. Floyd Mayweather should be remembered for what he did in the ring. Like I said, he's open for criticism for what he does on the outside as far as, like me, he's not my favorite person because I feel like if Floyd Mayweather runs into Jim Lampley next week, that he'll apologize to Jim. I just want to apologize to you, Jim. You do a hell of a job over there on HBO, and there's nothing personal between me and you. He'll do that whole routine, man, because that's who Floyd Mayweather is. That's how I know him to be, and that's why I'm annoyed with Floyd for doing stuff like that. He has coonish behavior. But I can separate that from what he did in the ring. Okay, in the ring, he was unbeatable. Okay, and I think that he would have beaten the majority of the guys who he didn't fight. Your Sean Porters, your Keith Thurmans. I think he would have had the toughest time with Sean Porter, but I think he could have beaten Keith Thurman. I don't know about Errol Spence. I know Errol Spence lumped him up in sparring, but I still think that he would beat those guys. I think that he would beat Kell Brook. I'm not giving him an automatic win because those fights didn't happen, but I would pick him to win those fights if they did happen. But let's remember him for the fights that he did have and how he beat those guys. He left them completely demoralized in the fucking ring. By the time it got to the fucking 8th round of those fights, you look into the eyes of those guys that he fought, and they were just completely demoralized, man. And I haven't seen any other fighter be able to do so many fighters like that, man. Just back to back. He should be remembered for that, too. Not for being a woman beater, man. The shit is just, I see what it is, but you guys leave me your comments. You let me know what you think. I'm out. Deuce.